Hello, Mr. Ravi K. Chandran. Welcome to DC Conversations.
Thank you.
This name has been shown on the big screen several times, and people have wondered who this is. What is it that goes in your mind and all that. So today we'll try to get some kind of information and insights from you on this. So tell me, Kilukam Petty to OG, your career has spanned like multiple industries, right? And eras of cinema,
Yes,
if I can say that.
yeah.
How has your visual language evolved over the years, and what influences continue to shape your style today?
See, when I started as a young cinematographer, I always try to show off, you know, to make make people notice. So my lighting used to be very flamboyant and very noisy in the sense show off kind of whether the scene needed or not. I try to say I'm here, kind of you know loud and bad photography I was doing. So I always never used to get calls from a big director to do the film, any film. I never got a good opportunity and all. I got opportunity which is commercial films and all in Malayalam. It's not bad in the sense I never got a serious director to take serious note on me. So nobody thought I'm a serious cameraman. And my brother, being a very big cinematographer in Malayalam, and he has a very big name. So a lot of award-winning films he has done, a lot of awards he won. So he is very highly respected. I become it's like Amitabh Bachchan and Abhishek Bachchan kind of situation happened. Their expectations were high.
Yeah.
So how do you perform? You are Ravi K. Chandran, but who is Ramchandra Babu's brother. That is no comparison. He is somewhere else. My films are really commercial and average films and all, compared to art house films and all. So they used to look down upon my work and all. So one film written by Priyadarshan and directed by one big director called I.V. Shashi, and I shot that film. So Priyan came to meet I.V. Shashi in a dubbing studio, and he opened the door and he saw the reel going, dubbing reel, and he said, "Who shot this?" He said, Ravi K. Chandran, this Ramchandra Babu's present. Oh, very well shot. I know him. He's a young boy, So he called me. Hey, come and meet. So I went and met him. So he asked me to do a film, which I couldn't do. I had date issues. So I said, no, I can't do this film. Then he called me to next film. He gave an advance. That film, I took it, then appendicitis operation. So I couldn't shoot that film. So he said, don't give me the advance back, keep it. I will call you for another film. Then he called me to do Viraasat. That changed my game altogether. So that's how it all happened. I evolved from there. Over the years, I got matured. I thought flamboyant cinematography is not good. I had to tell the story only. So I shifted to storytelling. So then people start noticing my work and all.
Yeah, I mean, you said your brother is so well recognized and well respected. I think today you've also, achieved that milestone, and you are in that space because you have collaborated with some of the biggest filmmakers in your career, and of different sensibilities, if I can say, Mani Ratnam, Rajkumar Santoshi, Sanjay Leela Bachchan, now Sujit in OG, right? How do you adapt your cinematography to a director's vision? While still leaving your personal signature on the frame?
What I try to do is I try to shoot a film from both films should not look same. So now I did two gangster film back to back. One is Thug Life. This is OG. Both are gangster film, but both are completely different from each other. If you look at it visually, Thug Life is completely different from what I have shot in OG. So that is my idea. When I shoot a film, I always look at it like this. when I shoot a film, that film should have its own style, own mark to it. That is what I'm looking at. That's how I shoot the films.
And also, you've done some path-breaking movies like Kannathil Muttamital, and each of these films have changed the way Indian audiences experience cinema visually, right? So when you look back, do you think, which film do you think was a turning point in your career?
I would say Viraasat is a turning point in my career.
Yeah.
Which won a lot of awards. Then Dil Chahta Hai came. Dil Chahta Hai changed the game. Like in Hindi cinema, a lot of revolutionary visual languages come in Dil Chahta Hai. From there, things started moving on. Like so I got good films like Black, Savriya, Agnipath, you know, Fana, Gajini, My Name is Khan. Yeah. So these films, Hindi, Yuva, all these films are quite diversely different, like Pehli, and all these things. If you look at my career also, I don't work with the same director for too long, too many films. Only director I worked of more number of films is Mani Ratnam. 4 films I shot. Yeah. Otherwise, every film is 1 film or 2 films. Then I moved on. Like Murugadas, I did 2 films. Priyan, 3 films I did. Otherwise, every film is one. Karan Johar, 1 film I did. Aditya Chopra, 1 film. Farhan Akhtar, 1 film. Like that. One film I'll do and move on to the next director. So I wanted to work with as long as possible different kind of directors so that uh, all directors have their own language. So their storytelling is different. So it'll have a flavor. Now I'm shooting a movie called Parasakti with Sudha Gangra, like Sujit and Mani Ratnam. So all 3 different kind of directors. So it gives me, when you go to a set, there's a new director you never worked. There's a new energy and new people, and I have to live up to their expectation. They are expecting you to perform well. It's like going to the last one, that kind of thing. So you need to perform well in that, given situation. So I normally concentrate on the director's viewpoint. So what he is trying to tell in the story, how well we can tell visually. So my job is to use my experience and knowledge about filmmaking and share it with them and show them the better way of telling the stories. And sometimes they may not agree, sometimes they agree. And end of the day, it's a director's film, so we need to work towards it. See, now OG is completely Sujit's baby, Sujit's vision. So be me or Taman or editor or art director, everybody do this job only to enhance his story or fulfill his idea. So we can't tell him we'll shoot like this. We can say this will work, this will not work. But if you have conviction, you'll say it will work, and it works. So if it works, well and good. I know. Otherwise, we can't do anything to it. So that's how I approach a movie. Like when you're doing a film, I wanted to put my 100% and see what we can get. So that's why if you look at all my films, whether it's a good or bad, it's working or not, my work will be consistently appreciated even in a film which didn't do well. Also, say for example, Bar Bar Dekho, one film I did, it didn't do well commercially, but my work was appreciated everywhere. Okay Janu and all. A film didn't do roaring business, but it gave me name. My work I will do correctly, but it doesn't help. Film has to work for the producer. If it doesn't work, there's no point in making a movie. It's a business, so it has to work well.
Talking of OG, where there is a person like Pavan Kalyan who's got this mass appeal, and fans are like waiting eagerly because it's been a while since he was seen on the big screen. So when you're actually creating this visual tone, how do you balance it with both the mass appeal as well as the cinematic sophistication?
If you look at the OG, it is shot very dark actually. A lot of darkness in the film, which is not normal in uh, a big actor film like Pawan Kalyan sir film and all. They don't shoot him dark and all too much. I I went against it and shot him dark and moody and all, which is quite surprisingly and correctly observed by mm, Sujit. He accepted it. He said, "Yeah, let's shoot it like this." So he also liked it that way. So it worked very well for the film now. And I got a lot of appreciation. I never thought this film will give me any name, thinking, it's a commercial film. They're going to look at Pawan Kalyan sir and walk away.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to call anybody, even write about my work in anywhere and all. But every magazine, every write-up, every review, every tweet or Instagram post are filled with appreciation for my work and all. So uh, and Manoj Pamasa also shot a bit of it because of date, got pushed for 2 years and all. When he called, I was in the middle of another shoot, and also he also filled in for additional cinematography he has done. He also had tough time to match my lighting, my vision also. He has to follow to give the film, otherwise it will be jarring. Because there are some scenes I shot a portion of it, and other portion he has to do. Those kind of things. That he really did a good job, and uh, he's a good cameraman, so he did his bit correctly.
Technology also in cinematography, like any other field, has advanced, right? There were steady cameras, now you have drones, and then there were films, and then it turned digital, and then we've almost got into virtual production. So, how do you balance embracing new tools while ensuring storytelling remains at the core?
Tools are like your iPhones. The brand new iPhone comes, it has got new uh, thing. So you want to try it out. It's same. It's always same. But for iPhone 10 to 16, you keep buying it because you want to have the latest tool. That's what it does. New camera comes, it does. But storytelling is basic, has to be there. It has to communicate. So you cannot say I have a virtual production, so the film will look good. These are tools to help to tell you the story. That whatever technology you do, whatever CG you do, whatever your core story is not holding, people doesn't give a damn about it. So if you take a film like Kantara, it is not technical marvel film. It is simply told village story and village folk story. They never thought it set out to be a blockbuster or anything. They thought of telling a clear story or a Manjumal Boys. The technology is there, but you don't see them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Manjumal Boys, as a filmmaker, I don't know where they put the set. Which is a set, which is not set, I don't know. That is the technology. That is the use of technology. That is the use of mastery in the cinematography. Art direction, director's vision, production design, everything put together. What made Manjumal Boys looks that. So if somebody says Pawan Kalyan film OG is doing well because of the technical marvel, no, it is a basic story held the audience. It interested, made them sit through the film. That is why a film works. Otherwise, whatever multis you do, whatever the technical marvel you do, they don't care. It's all tools to tell the story. So you don't need to have a high-end camera to tell a story. You take a smaller camera and make a simpler film. There's a film called Tourist Family in Tamil. It released. It did very well business. Like, it's a small film. A new director, a 25-year-old boy directed it. It was stunning. That film is. I didn't even look at the camera, what camera work they did, and what colors they used, or what camera moves they did. Nothing. I was glued to the film because it's the storytelling. Or a film in about court in Telugu came and it did very well.
Yeah.
I was not bothered about how they shot it and all. So it's not that. It's a story holds. So these tools are whatever technology comes, you don't need to know all of them. It's not necessary to know all of the technique. You should be aware of it, but you should not depend on that. Like, Martin Scorsese doesn't need to know how a 3D lens works. He knows how to tell a story. So when he did a film first time, Hugo, and a 3D, the cameraman also never shot 3D, and they never shot so much of green screen. And he won an Oscar for best cinematography, Robert Richardson, for Hugo. So that is because he says in the interview, I don't know anything about 3D. The 3D technical guy will handle it. I know where to tell the story, how to put the camera for the story, how to do the lighting for the story, not to know this nitty gritty things. It's like that, as simple as that. It's like you sit in a Tesla car and just press the button, it drives, means it drives. You don't need to know how the whole function
Technology.
works.
That's correct.
Technology. So you should not get carried away by technical marvel. The camera can fly, you can fix a small camera, you can put multiple, it doesn't matter. Whether your emotional scene works emotionally, you put the camera straight on the actor. That face has got landscape. Actor's face has a landscape. It will tell emotions. It will tell stories actually. A simple close-up will tell many, many pages of dialogue. One look can devastate you, in a film. A good actor comes and just give an emotional look can hurt you. That look you'll remember for many years. So those things are what makes it. One musical note can change your life. So these technologies are basically a tool, but you should not get overwhelmed by new tools, virtual reality, there's that and all, AI and all. But you do whatever you do, unless you tell a story, you'll not hold it. Otherwise, every CGI company will be making films. To make a Bahubali, you can use technology. But with only technology, if you can make a film, it will not work. Many films flop like that, using all technology. You have technology, but use it correctly, then that will become a blockbuster. You tell the story. These tools, all tools, is to reach the destination. So it's like wearing the most expensive watch. It tells the same time only. That's as simple as that.
Right.
You have a Rolex or you have a Titan, you have a normal watch, 500 rupees watch. It should tell the time. It should tell the story.
You also directed movies, right?
Yeah, 2 films I did.
So does your experience behind the camera as a cinematographer influence how you approach directing? Because you also
Both
know
the
about
films
the camera.
no. See, the directing is a very different ball game altogether. Both the films had, what do you call, one was a remake, one was a straight film. So both the films I was shooting, so that also put pressure on me, not able to concentrate on the other things. The cameraman will take over. So that I am trying to avoid when I direct next time. I'm trying to stay away from the camera that much, and I tell my assistant to do it, and I wanted to step back and do it so that I can direct it properly. But it helped me in choreographing a scene or staging a scene and all. But I was more focused on, as a cameraman came alive in me, that I should remove it. I should step away from that. So, because that is a big learning I learned from those films. After directing, my respect for the directors multiplied. Because it's very, very difficult to maneuver actors. You are dealing every actor. This actor wanted to go, this actor feels that scene is not cut. Even after the film release, some actor will come and say, my scene has been cut you should increase that scene. Everybody wants to increase the scene. That film has to be some 8 hours too. So you have to ruthlessly cut the scenes. So that is a fact.
I'm sure the editor is also facing some flack.
No, they won't go to the editor. They always eat the director's brain. Yesterday also, some actor come and tell, my scene was cut, and also, they all, film is released, still they want to, so we are saying, come to the editing room, we'll show you where it is lying down now. So we can't put everybody into the film full length. So editing is, that's why they call it editing. So you had to edit ruthlessly. Even the most expensive scene, expensive set, full chunk will go sometime. You know, so
Right.
you shoot a song, it doesn't hold in the film. It doesn't hold. That's it.
I mean, talking about scenes getting edited out, I mean, of course, actor, yeah, right. But sometimes when you are behind the camera, you think that you have shot the best, you kind of managed to get the best shot of a place. The beauty of a place has been captured in your lens by your lens. When you see that that doesn't figure anywhere in the cinema, I mean, don't you have that feeling like, oh my God, this should have been there because I thought this
No,
was the best scene.
initially, when I was young, I used to get into fight with that editor and all. You missed out that shot and all.
Uh,
Now I completely understand the film doesn't care. As I told you, if the film, if your footage doesn't tell you a story properly, you have to cut it ruthlessly.
mm,
Every film I watch recent times, people come and say you should cut 20 minutes of the film in the second half. They always say that.
mm,
Because people are very impatient now. They don't have time to watch the entire film. So
uh,
unless you keep them hooked, it's very, very difficult for a smaller filmmaker to make a film now. A lot of independent cinema died because of that. I think now it's more increasingly become difficult to make a meaningful cinema. To mount a cinema in that scale, a smaller scale. People are not willing to come to the theater to watch a smaller scale film. They can watch it on TV. They're waiting for the OTT. They say straight OTT film. Uh, so the OTT doesn't buy it because it's not revenue for them. If your film is art house, so then it goes to movie or something where you don't get money. So on some festivals you can take it and come back. You made a good film. So one of the film will get a award in internationally or something. You can go abroad and come back. That's it. So the producer will not get money. So that's a thing. So now that middle cinema, like series cinema, is completely going to smaller avenues. Like we directly release it in OTT or some, or OTT content has become interesting now in Hindi. Like OTT long format, they're getting really good roles. They're writing a lot of female centric roles, heroine oriented roles, which is real and like Delhi crime and all, actors like Shifali Sira and all getting their due. Actors like Manoj Bhai is getting their due. Like they're the best actors in the country and they're deservingly getting it. Likewise, in Vidya Balan, Jyotika, a lot of people are getting good films because of changes has come. So in a film like OG, if you look at it, we have a lot of powerful roles, like female roles also. Sriya Reddy had a very good role in this film, very powerful role. She's there throughout the film. It's a other packed role. She had a lot of scenes and powerful scenes with the. Likewise, Mm, the Priyanka Mohan had a very the tender moments in the film, softer, like that flashback. It's a pleasant portion of the film, so that also helped the film. So it had all the elements correctly. I think I felt nice about the film when I watched it. It's not that film I shot it just because of that. I'm saying I really enjoyed watching the film. I watched it 2 3 times in theater, technical things. Yesterday I watched it like an audience. You know, I quite enjoyed the film. It didn't drag me anywhere.
Actors who didn't get their due getting their due through OTT. How much you think has it actually helped a cinematographer if you're, cinematographers?
See, shooting OTT as a cinematographer is a very tiring job. So, internationally, if you take a Crown or a Game of Thrones, shot by multiple cameramans, multiple directors.
Hmm.
So in that process, you don't know which part shot by who.
Ah,
You don't get that full name out of
credit.
the
Yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
credit. So when you do a limited series, then you get a name. But in a per episode only, they're giving awards also nowadays. Episode one shot by this cameraman and all. Unless you see a web series like Ripley is shot by one great cameraman. It looks stunning. So any frame you can take it and print it on, make it as a postcard. Like that, they shot it. So those kind of films in India, because of the budget, we don't have that luxury of
Multiple
shooting
cameras.
it like that, like
Yeah.
multiple camera. They have to shoot it quickly and all. So they use less light and shoot it quickly. So they are different now.
Talking of budgets, is it lucrative? I mean, if you were to give a piece of advice to aspiring cinematographers, people who want to make a name, I think your son is also getting into
Yeah.
cinematography, right? Yeah.
No, he's a
So
big cinematographer.
yeah. So what advice did you give him, and probably say that, look, this is the thing that you have to look out for, and these are the
I,
things you
I
must
always
avoid.
I always said if you spot a good director, don't leave them. They're very less. So try and stick to the same director and try and don't do what I'd done, experiment like that. Now it's in this fast-paced rule. For example, I would say earlier when there is a TV commercial, somebody calls me. If I say I will think about it and tell you after 2 days or one day, they'll wait for me. Okay. Now somebody asked me, "Are you free on the 14th?" So I said, "Let me check with my schedule with my AD team. When I type it and send it, then I will let you know before I type it." They said, "Thanks, we already spoken to another cameraman." In two seconds there, because they say you are taking time to think, you are not free then. So
Yeah.
immediately they already talk. Two people, three people are talking to two, three people, and they immediately signed another cameraman before I
Yeah.
could type.
Yeah.
Earlier, I remember when they wanted to do an ad with Amir Khan, the director said, "I want to shoot this ad with you. It's a 5 days ad." I said, I just come from another shoot for 1 month. I'm going for another shoot. I have only 5 days at home. I don't want to leave my family and come. He said, "Can you shoot one day?" I said, "Okay." Rest of the things, car shots, I'll shoot with another cameraman. I said, "Okay." But this is Amir Khan, Bala, you have to shoot. I said, "Okay, I'll come." But I said, "I can't come for Ricky. I can't come and meet you in Bombay. I'm in Chennai." He said, "Okay, I'll fly." He came to Chennai, narrated the story, discussed how to shoot it. I went back. I went for one day and shot it and came back. What I'm trying to say is, those days has gone. Now, if you don't, my phone rings. Now I'm in a Zoom call. My phone rings. Somebody call me for an ad. If I don't pick up, that ad is gone. That much
Yeah.
time only there, because so many good cameramen are out because of that digital technology. The thing is wide open now. Choices. There are
Yeah.
100 good cameramen around in India. When I was there are 10, 15 good cameramen across India. The top of the line. Every language had three cameramen like Malayalam, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Bengali, Hindi. Like that, every language had four top cameramen. In that, four of them will not do TV commercials. So TV commercial joined one bunch of cameramen. So they used to wait. They had an actor's date. They waited. That is
Yeah.
gone now.
That's
So
true.
when I did Rabne Banerjee Jodi, I was shooting Gajini. So when Adi Chopra asked me to do the film, I said, "I'm not free for next 2 months." But he had Shah Rukh's dates. He said, "No, okay, I'll tell Shah Rukh to wait. You come and shoot my film." That will not happen now. If I say
Yeah.
I'm not 2 months free, they have Shah Rukh's date, they'll throw me out and take another cameraman.
True.
There are choices there. That time there's no choice. They
Yeah.
they have to get a good cameraman. They have to wait for the dates. That is gone now.
Yeah.
So I told my son, now whenever you find a good director, stick to him. Do a couple of films with him like that. That's the advice I give. So I normally tell a young cameraman, don't try to afraid to do experiment. It's
Mm.
not going to kill you. Either it's going to be bad, it's going to be good, or fantastic. But
Mm.
it's not going to hurt you, kill you, or anything. So try experiment it. Try a different way of telling stories. That will not going to harm you anyway. If you don't try, you will be a failure.
True.
You have to try.
Yeah.
You have to try new things, new lens, new kind of lighting, new kind of blocking. Then, then you'll win. If you don't try, then there's no winning. There's no winning at all. If you try to play safe, please everybody, you're not going to win because there are many people to please. Because it's a and every technology is available now online. You can learn everything online. Everything through net. YouTube. All the classes are there about photography, painting, anything, culture, anything. Any information is there. When we were young, there's nothing. You have to go to a library and read about everything. We want to know about Rome. Suppose you have to buy, Lonely Planet and read what are the things that there, or go to some book about Rome and read about it.
Correct. Yeah.
Now you put Rome, full view, aerial view, and where to eat. Everything is there online. So many bloggers are writing, doing. So Instagram, if you open about Rome, many pages are there. Where to eat, what to do, where to stay, and all. Every nook and corner in the world to stay now. So that likewise, like technology is there for every information is there. New things. So you learn everything. So you don't need to have a high-end film school education to learn anything, direction or cinematography or script writing. I think everything is there, and everything you can do on your phone. So you can make movies, experiment, tell a new way of stories. You'll be surely winning. That's
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you. Bye bye.